Everyone, we know the Celtics start at 8, so we're going to get this party started. I will call to order this meeting of the Somerset Berkley Regional School Committee at 6:02 p.m. Due notice having been posted. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions may be made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. We'll do a roll call of members present. Mr. Fenstermaker?
Here.
Ms. Ashley?
Present.
Ms. Ferreira?
Present.
Mr. Machado?
Here.
Ms. O'Brien?
Present.
Ms. Solomon?
Here.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Also with us this evening are our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jeffrey Schoonover, our Director of Business and Finance, Mr. Ronald Taro, our Director of Curriculum, Ms. Elizabeth Haskell, our Director of Special Education, Ms. Megan Ashton, and our Principal, Dr. Susan Brailsford, and of course, as always, our Recording Secretary, Robin Vaccaro. Could I ask you to please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. The next regularly scheduled meeting of this committee will be held on Tuesday, June 18th, here in the Somerset Berkley Regional High School Library. The first item on the agenda this evening is the reorganization of this committee, the appointment of the chair and the vice chair. What are the wishes of the committee?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Fenstermaker.
I'd like to nominate Jennifer Andrews as the chair
Second.
for the next year.
That was quick.
I think you did a fantastic job, so I think you should keep doing it.
I appreciate that. We have a nomination and a second. Is there any discussion or other nominations are welcome? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the nomination is for Jennifer Andrews as chair. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to abstain. Opposed? So voted. Thank you, everyone, very much. It's a pleasure to work with all of you, and I look forward to continuing that. Okay, next, the committee needs to appoint a vice chair. What are the wishes of the committee?
Madam Chair,
Mr.
I'd like to
Machado.
nominate Ms. Ferrara.
We have a nomination. So fast. The nomination is for Ms. Kim Ferreira, and we have a second. Is there any discussion? Are there any? Okay. Well, hearing all those in
Well,
favor?
I'll just make a discussion. The reason why I nominated Ms. Chair is because she's just been elected to the board, but also, for the record, Mr. Fenstermaker, I did not want the vice chair, correct?
Yes.
Yes, all right. I don't want people to think that we bypassed Mr. Fenstermaker.
I have to say, I have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed especially working with Jen in the administration, but I'm okay with not being chair or vice chair this year. Thank you.
Yeah, no one's fired, Mr. Fenstermaker. Okay, anything else on discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain.
Opposed? So voted. Okay.
I look forward to it.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, the next item on the agenda, under student teaching and learning, is the report of our student representative, Mr. Ryan Vieira.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'll try to make this quick since I know there's a lot to get to tonight. So just to start off with, as the year is wrapping up and the seniors' our last day is this Friday, signs were delivered to the front lawns of class of 2024 families, and just a special thank you from the donations from the Friends of Music, Boosters, and Somerset Education Foundation, and special thank you to Ms. Ferrara for organizing the delivery and ordering of those posters. They're greatly appreciated by the senior class. So just a few topics regarding sports. The sports season is winding down. The boys lacrosse season just wrapped up, and hear nothing but positive feedback about that new program. And then since the last meeting, there was the performance of Mean Girls by the Performing Arts group, which was fantastic. Everybody really enjoyed that performance, and just another send-off to the seniors was the spring concert and Pops Night for the performing arts groups, celebrating the seniors, all the work that they've done here at Somerset Berkley. That's it.
Madam Chair,
Thank you.
I just wanted to, the signs, I appreciate that. I also want to give a shout out, the PTO also, but it was the 4 of us, so I wanted to also give them that credit.
Yes, thank you.
That's a really awesome thing, because I know in a lot of communities, families have to purchase the signs, and so the fact that folks here get together to do that for our seniors and then, plant them on their lawns for them is like pretty awesome. So thank you to everyone involved in that. The next item on the agenda is our citation for our student rep, Ryan Vieira. It's sort of a funny story. I was thinking he was a senior, because he's so mature and has made such wonderful contributions to our committee. So I'm hoping we'll be fortunate enough to have him back next year. But that doesn't mean we can't give you the praise and recognition that you deserve for your work this year. So on behalf of the committee, we would like to recognize you with the following citation. Whereas Ryan Vieira served as student representative to the Somerset Berkley Regional School Committee, and whereas he faithfully and conscientiously performed his duties on behalf of the students at Somerset Berkley Regional High School while providing this committee with the student perspective, and whereas he was instrumental in informing the committee of student activities and upcoming events at Somerset Berkley Regional High School, as well as helping the committee better understand the needs and concerns of the student body, and whereas his talents and commitments have brought him academic success and a leadership role, and be it hereby resolved that the members of the Somerset Berkley Regional School Committee commend Ryan Vieira in the official minutes, recording this expression of appreciation and gratitude to a student member of the Somerset Berkley Regional School Committee, and extending best wishes for happiness and success in all his future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, you're required to. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That's really good. The next item on the agenda, this one is bittersweet. We have citations for 2 of our retirees. I'd like to first recognize Dr. Edward Doucette. You're going to have to come down, Dr. Doucette. We have so many things for you. I'll read them first, and then we're going to hand you all kinds of things.
Oh my God.
You're just going to have to stand
Do
in
you
the
think I can
spotlight.
carry?
We'll see.
I'm going to read the citation, and then I know we have some folks who would like to say a few things. Whereas, over the past 13 years, Dr. Edward Doucette has served as the content coordinator of the English Language Arts Department at Somerset Berkley Regional High School. Prior to being hired by the district, Dr. Doucette provided his expertise to the district as an independent educational consultant. And whereas Ed's extensive knowledge in the content area has been instrumental in aligning curriculum and providing data-driven decision-making. And whereas Ed maintained the highest professional standards for teaching and learning and educational leadership. And be it hereby resolved that the members of the Somerset Berkley Regional School Committee commend Dr. Edward Doucette in the official minutes, recording this expression of appreciation and gratitude to an honored professional of the Somerset Berkley Regional School District, and extending best wishes for happiness in his retirement years.
Thank you.
gifts for you. I'm gonna come around. You don't get away that easily.
I'm more comfortable giving gifts. Way more comfortable.
We also have a citation from Governor Maura Healey and Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll. This says, on behalf of the residents of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I'm pleased to confer upon you the governor's citation in recognition of your 13 years of dedicated service to the Somerset Public Schools and the Somerset Berkley Regional School District. Signed this 30th day of June. They're a little ahead of themselves, but that's great, in the year 2024. So.
Thank you very much.
And then we also have a citation.
I like big print.
Look at this one. This one is
really
fabulous. Right? Oh, this is from our rep. So this is a citation, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Dr. Edward Doucette in recognition of 13 years of service and commitment to Somerset Berkley Regional High School. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. We should have brought a bag for you. Oh, you're not done? And we have for you,
Oh my God, I got a bell.
you have to ring the bell.
Oh, you're giving me way too much power.
Congratulations, right?
I know.
I
This
think
is a lot of power.
That's like getting your I know we have, we're gonna embarrass you just a little bit more, just a smidge, okay? Neville Barry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to see you all tonight. I'm going to add a few numbers to Dr. Doucette, and my apologies to come back to you. Teaching career, he has been 52
Come
years.
down here so folks can hear
My
you.
way up there.
Neville.
I'm gonna trade places.
Come on down. I'm also not going to cry tonight. 52 years. I know.
Okay. Here, ring the bell. It'll help.
Thank you. And the theme that I got from him, because I was an English teacher, in which Somerset has provided also, is a theme of love. He has been the most compassionate, understanding, dignified gentleman in the 52 years of his teaching. And I have had the pleasure and honor to be of 13 of that. And damn it, I don't want him to go. So on that note, I love you, Ed.
Likewise.
The whole department loves you. And you are going to sub every day that I call you. So don't turn your cell phone off.
Speak to my wife first.
On that note, the bell goes back. I thank you for the honor of
Neville.
letting me,
Thank you.
speak for you. Thank you.
You have the floor.
I have the floor? Oh, never ask an English teacher to speak. I'm going to be uncharacteristically brief. First of all, I want to thank you all for the 13 best professional years I've ever had, out of the 52. I saved the best for last. You know, one of the things that I say to my wife a lot, I have 3 granddaughters going to college in the fall, and what we say all the time is, how did that happen? And when I came to this district, I had known many of us, and I knew it would be really good indeed. But I did not know that I would find such incredible people with such incredible skill and such incredible hearts all in one place. Not a very big place. And the question is, how did that happen? Because as you know, I've been around the block more than once. For 39 years before I came here, I worked in at least, 30 years in Providence, but in about 7 different buildings, many other buildings. And to come here and say, my God, there's wonderfulness everywhere I go. And certainly the greatest people, and I thank you, because I come to school every day because I know that when I come here, I'm going to be among not just peers, but friends. People who understand what it means to be good people. And I think our kids know that we are good people. And that is something that is precious, and I will carry with me. I do this sometimes. Thank you. I can only say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for providing me with 13 years in the district. That means so very much to me. This is the best icing on the best long-built cake. 52-year-old cake with the best icing, and you are it, folks. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna come around, so. This is already the best school committee meeting we've ever had. All right, Mr. Petty, come on down.
It's a lot to give me on this side of the river.
All right, so the school committee would like to recognize Mr. Petty. Whereas, over the past 24 years, Mitchell Petty has served as a valued member of the Social Studies Department at Somerset High School and Somerset Berkley Regional High School. Mitch brought with him his extensive experience and knowledge from years of a career in marine and industrial construction. And whereas, upon review of Mitch's evaluations over the years, it has been noted by multiple evaluators that Mitch is a consummate professional, an outstanding, innovative teacher who promotes confidence and determination in all of his students, creates an environment where each student is made to feel important, bright, and accountable for their actions. And whereas, Mitch's unwavering dedication helped to nurture the growth and development of students during their formative years. He is a kind, thoughtful professional who always cared deeply about his students, even long after they graduated. And be it hereby resolved that the members of the Somerset Berkley Regional School Committee commend Mitchell Petty in the official minutes, recording this expression of appreciation and gratitude to an honored professional of the Somerset Berkley Regional School District, and extending best wishes for happiness in your retirement years. Thank you very much. We have more bling for you as well. So we also have a citation from Governor Healy and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, which states, Mitchell Petty, on behalf of the residents of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I'm pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation in recognition of your 24 years of dedicated service to the Somerset Public Schools and the Somerset Berkley Regional School District. And also a citation from the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Mitchell Petty in recognition of 24 years of service and commitment to Somerset Berkley Regional High School. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors.
Thank you very much.
And you got a bell too, you know.
My wife's gonna wait to get that
And thank you for everything. And we have, Ms. Ferris is going to come on. Can he?
rescind those papers?
Once.
Where is, oh, he's over here. Okay. So Mitch has been here for 24 years. I've been here for 22 years, and we've taught side by side for 22 years. And he is not only an excellent, excellent teacher who will definitely leave a void, but the one thing he has done is he's mentored our department. And so I feel good about that because we will keep a lot of what Mitch has done. His, you know, how he does these extra reviews with kids. He's a consummate professional. He also has these pettyisms, which the kids, you know, like to joke about. And we have a list of them, and we're just going to review them every now and then when we miss him. But he will be sorely missed for sure in the classroom. He has worked so hard in the last 24 years. You know, commitment, dedication, working with students, working with struggling students, holding them accountable, getting them to know that they can do this inside and outside of the classroom. So he has done so much for the students. He's had an extraordinary impact on his colleagues and the school community at large. So this is bittersweet for us because we don't want you to go, but we know you will, and we want to wish you the best retirement possible. And just know that we're here, and I think we might have a long-term sub opening in the fall, just in case, Sue, if you don't mind. So we wish you the best.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right.
Appreciate it. This is actually hard for me. I'm actually humble. Like that's usually not the case with me. Boys, I'll see you tomorrow. You guys know that. I know when I got hired by Don Rebello from New Bedford High School to come up here, it was one of the happiest days of my life. And I know I've taught so many of your children here at this desk and out there. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to be part of this. I was fortunate enough to marry a Somerset graduate, my wife Suzanne. So a lot of times some bad words come out when I get like this. But no, it has been an honor and pleasure to serve the Somerset and Berkley Regional High School District and to have such wonderful students. I've always said that kids can do remarkable things. They just need to be kind of guided that way. And you know, I saw it this year with the basketball team. Bob Slayer is going to get a good recognition now. Yeah, thank you very much,
Mr.
everybody.
Petty, Madam Chair, before I left here, I said I'm going to see Mr. Petty today. Morgan, as you mentioned, she had you. And she says, I can't be here today because I wanted to say something because she has music. And so this actually caught me off guard. He is epic. He's a legend. Music, not so much, but he's extremely funny. And I know that when she had you last year, you were one of the top. So she wanted to share that with you today as well.
Thank you very much. So, thank you. And I did it all standing up for a long time.
Before we huddle up for the next presentation, I would just entertain a motion to adopt the citations for Ryan Vieira, Dr. Edward Doucette, and Mr. Mitchell Petty.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ashley, seconded by Ms. O'Brien. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody's opposed. So voted. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, the happy news continues. Where's my basketball team at? Come on down. Huddle up, boys. Why don't we have you guys come back here? There you go. Finn, you okay? Coach Slater? figured a huddle would be sort of appropriate,
Yeah.
right?
Just, I can't scream at him right now.
Definitely scream at that. I'm sure many of you have heard the amazing, wonderful, and well-deserved news that the Boston Globe recognized Coach Slater as the Division II Basketball Coach of the Year. And so we wanted to recognize you for that. Those of us who had the joy of watching the run that this team made this year, it was so much fun. And we are so grateful for all you do, not only obviously athletically and on the court, but what you do to help us raise good, fine young men. So on behalf of the committee, we wanted to recognize you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're going to embarrass you. Coach Lawrence is going to say a few words.
I've been fortunate enough to work with Coach Slater for almost 20 years. I was a volunteer and then the freshman coach when I started out with Coach Slater. And at the beginning, like, you know, I honestly was a little bit afraid of him. I'm just kidding. But I mean, to kind of give you a little bit of like an understanding of how much I appreciate this guy. When my wife went to Florida in February without me, because I had to coach basketball, so my family goes without me. My wife decided, I'll put this on the record too, well, she'll be embarrassed. My wife decided at the airport at 12:30 at night to drive over the strips where they pop your tires when you go the wrong direction with my children and 77-year-old mother in the car. And called me from Florida to alert me that this happened, because of course I'm going to be able to fix it from home at 12:30 in the morning. So at 2:30 in the morning, when things are finally situated, I get to bed, I turn my phone off because I decided that it was a good day to sleep in. And my wife apparently thought I was dead. And of all people to call, she called Bob, knowing that he would be like the most reliable person to come check on his friend Andy. And I tell you that story because like that's how much Bob has meant to me and my family. And that's what he's meant to the kids over the past 20 years. There's been countless times where we'll be out after a game talking about a game and I'll be like, oh, I think the kids are at Agoro's. I'm gonna go by there and pay their tab. Like that's the stuff he does. We'll have a game on a Friday night, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, we're at the food pantry, collecting food and helping people there. I mean, we've done it before we go to Martha's Vineyard for a game at the food pantry because he committed to be there and thought it was important. And then there's been countless times where he's taken the kids, like we've gone bowling over at Somerset for team building. We couldn't get to the hockey game this year for the playoffs because we had practice to get ready for our game. He bought pizzas from Agoro's to have all the kids in my classroom to watch the game live streamed all together. And of course, like the kids that we have, they all showed up. So I mean, I think the Coach of the Year award is kind of like a recipe of all the years of service he's done. He's been the Coach of the Year, in my opinion, many more times. But when you had a group of kids, a group like the coaching staff we had, and all the things come together in one year, it obviously came out with getting the Coach of the Year award. But in my book, like he's been the Coach of the Year. The years we were sometimes 5-15, he was still trying to find a way to get us that 5th win. And you know, at some of those years, you don't get the recognition. Maybe you get the criticism, but like he kind of stood tall and always fought through it. And then this year, he got the award he truly deserves. And I'm blessed to have him as a friend, as a colleague. And I mean, I've been at it 20 years, and it's because of him. So, and obviously, I shoot a message out to the kids, and we have half the varsity basketball team here to show up to support him. So, congratulations, Coach. Well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you. I told the kids this, might have my name on it, but it's a we award, not a me award. I'd like to thank my wife, all you fine people, the administration, a lot of the faculty reached out to me, a lot of the administration did too. Very important, very humbling, but these guys deserve the credit. Great job. Great job. And we have the best coaching staff in Massachusetts with Andy, Ray McDonald, and Chris Mendes. I just really want to thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. It's wonderful when you can have a meeting with, thank you. Happy tears. It's wonderful when you have a meeting with such wonderful news, which I think is emblematic of the work that the staff and students do in this district every day. Okay, we're moving on. We have some more recognition. The next item on the agenda is for our transition program, and we're going to acknowledge our local business collaborators. Is Dr. Jen Kramer here with the students? Come on, Jen. Okay. Hi. Do you want to come on? I know, putting everybody on the spot tonight, right? Where do you want me? That's
Spot?
perfect.
Wherever the camera makes me look better.
No, you're great, you're great.
So tonight we wanted to recognize some of our community partners for our transition program, which are our 18 to 22-year-old students that are at Somerset Berkley and out in the community working. This year we have been very fortunate that we have students out every day working. Some students are working mornings and afternoons. Some students are working 2 days a week. Some students are working 4 days a week. And we have been very fortunate to have amazing partners this year. We have the Somerset Public Library that we've had for 3 years now. We have Critter Cab and our Pet Wagon, which are our doggy daycares. 2 years for our Critter Cab, and then we have our first year for our Pet Wagon. We have Tractor Supply this year. We have Berkley Public Schools. We have Berkley Community School, Middle School, where our students have gone. And we have Restaurant Supply over in Fall River. So we have been extremely fortunate with our partners, and we are hoping that these partnerships continue next year and then in future years. If it is okay with some of you, we do have our students here tonight. Could I introduce our students and our staff just so that everybody knows who our students are, because they do make an incredible impact here at Somerset Berkley High School, and we're very proud of them. So is it okay? And
Yes,
we
please,
have
have them come
and
on
we have a
down.
couple of students that have actually written something about their work experiences, if that's okay. In addition, I think you all received the little booklet that we had sent, and the superintendent does have the actual copy of it, so I hope that you enjoyed that. So we have Hannah here tonight, we have John, we have Christian, we have Kate, we have Alex, we have Ethan, we have Aiden, we have Brianna, we have most of our students. Would you guys like to come on up? We have Molly Keith, we have, oh, come on up, Molly, we have Sasha, we have Emily, we have Tammy, we have Logan, and we have Lena. Thank you. I don't have my glasses on, come on out. So these are, this is the whole staff that works with our students 18 to 22. So who would like to go? Sorry, we're all kind of jammed in here. Who would like to go first? Kate?
I guess.
Go ahead, Kate. Right up.
Me?
Go ahead.
Can I start? My name is Kate. I worked at Full Vision Farm, Curtis Cow, and Pet Wagon, and Tractor Supply. I really like working with animals and like working with the puppies. Last December, 6 puppies were born at Curtis Cow, and I helped take care of them. When they were born, I learned how to hold them and clean up after them and play with them. I still get to see some of the puppies when I go to work. I also like working at Full Vision Farm. I them out to their outside paddocks. I've face my fears with the chickens and have gone into their
And that's an applause for her. Yeah. You wanna go get the chickens.
Because my work with animals, I have taken animal science classes at BCC and really enjoyed the classes and learning about animals. Tractor Supply has taught me how to stock and organize shelves, keep the store clean, and work with my supervisors when they are helping customers. I like going and working at different jobs at Tractor Supply. My work experience this year has been excellent. And I have learned so much from my jobs. I have had a fun year. Oh my God.
Nice job. And I have one of the puppies. I'm just saying. John?
My name is Johnny. This year I worked at Texas Supply Virgin Farm in Somerset Berkley Library. I like working at the farm and keeping the animal stalls and paddocks clean. At Texas Supply, I stock tools on the shelves and I like taking care of the horses. I also help stocking the feed. At Somerset Public Library, we help the librarian organize and help make crafts for the library program for the young kids. I like helping with the crafts because I know it will make the kids happy to create something. Working at my job this year has been fantastic, and I love coming back to school to tell the criminal about my jobs that day.
We have, a few of our guys have also written a couple things they'd like to read. Come on, Alex.
Hi, my name is Alex. I work at Berkley Public Schools, Highland Restaurant Supply, Info and Vision Farm. I take out trash and recycle. I love working because I get to travel outside of the school. In the future, I would like to work at Tractor Supply.
Good job, Alex. Good job,
Hi, my name is Ethan. I work at Tractor Supply, Highland Restaurant Supply, Somerset Public Library, and Berkeley Public School. I stock clothing, wash windows, and take out trash and recycling. I love working because I think it's fun and I get to see the new places. In the future, I want to work at doggy daycare, Berkeley Public Schools, and the Somerset Public Library.
Sorry, buddy. Good job, buddy.
Hi. Hi, I'm Hannah. I work at Tractor Supply, Highlands Restaurant Supply, which I want to give a big shout out. It's amazing. Thank you. In the Berkeley Public Schools. I am able to help restock the shelves and help customers at Tractor Supply, organize clothing, and even scan files and do files at the Berkeley Middle School. I just love working there because it prepares me for the future and it shows me what to expect. And I'd like to work as a vet tech or anything with animals.
I go to Bomb, I liked
Experience for most of our students, and hopefully it will lead to some paid employment at some point. So, fingers crossed for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ms. Sanders, Madam Chair, if I could just, I just want to thank you all. You guys have done a wonderful job. Especially this past year, the program has really grown. I've loved to see the collaboration between you all. Jen Kramer has really been a big proponent of making sure that we honor all of our community partners, so I truly appreciate that you're all here. Appreciate what you do for our students, administration, all the support as well. And thank you, all the students, for coming here tonight and sharing your experiences with us. Thank you.
Could we introduce our partners? Yes. So we have Nicole and Ellen, if you want to come up, from Pet Wagon Critic Ave. We have Ms. Francisco from our Berkley Community School. We have Logan's dad, Ray Shaker from Restaurant Supply. Have I missed anyone? I think those are all of our community partners that are here that were able to make it. They were all invited, but not all of them could make it. I'm sorry, Jen.
I just wanted to say how much we appreciated having the students in the Berkley Public Schools. I certainly bring the best wishes of Superintendent Ryan as well as Principal Heber. We had the students at our school actually today, and I can't tell you how much their work has meant to us and to all of our students at the elementary level. They've prepared manipulatives, they've helped get workbook pages ready, they've sorted and arranged books. They have cleaned and organized our supply closet. In my 31 years, it's never looked so good. I can't tell you how much joy they've brought into our midst and how much our students and our school community has benefited from them. So on behalf of our district, I just wanted to offer our best wishes and our thanks for all of their hard work and the cookies that they brought. Thank you very, very much.
Madam Chair, if I may, I just also wanted to thank the transition program. They helped and delivered all the senior signs to Berkley for us on Friday. It's maybe 60-ish signs, so I really appreciate all the help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. One more bit of wonderful news before we get to the boring stuff. The committee would like to recognize at this time the April visionaries, and I'm going to do my best with everyone's name. Lakin Jacob for Independent, Josephina Melancon for Empathetic, Julia Marrera, Respectful, Gavin Parker, Academic, Roman Raposo, Independent, Emma Paskovich, Digital Citizen, Shelby Smith, Resilient, and Mackenzie Thrasher, Academic. Congratulations to all of those students for their accomplishments. Now onto the less fun stuff. The next item on the agenda under business and financial is the April financial statement. Not that you're not fun, Mr. Chairman.
When you said that, I looked at the agenda. Oh, that's me. So I'll try to make it a little entertaining for you today.
That'd be great, thank you. Do you want to get up?
It is a hard so.
We don't have any bells for you, I'm sorry.
Yet.
Yeah, as I say, yeah.
So you did receive a copy of the annual financials. Not much has changed from what we presented, when I presented the March financials. Some pluses and minuses in certain categories. We're still on track with the expenditures for the end of the year, looking at, the prepayment of the special ed out-of-district tuition fees. We'll be doing probably a contribution to the OPEB fund based on the projections. And did everything we could really do now for the end of the school year. There's a couple of things that fall into capital, but they're going to most likely be hitting the operating budget. And I want to kind of just give you a little heads up right now. The maintenance line will probably incur some expenses. I don't know the dollar amount yet, but we're going to be doing some slight modifications over here to put a crosswalk in across Prospect and do a couple of Lutheran, Prospect's Lutheran. Do a couple of curb cuts down, I would quote, what's this called, Rated Boulevard? So Rated Boulevard, down where the crosswalk is. There's a crosswalk there. We're going to do some curb cuts so we can make sure that we can cross, do some hot surfaces and bring the pathway down. That's phase one of the project. The other phase is...
Why don't we pause just for a second? Only because I want to make sure folks at home can hear. It's fine, it's all good.
It's good.
It's all good celebration.
And I should have probably paused too. I was offended by the comment.
We can do take two.
I'm okay now.
I was just about to say, get over it.
Oh. I'll tell you later. Yes.
I have to work on my...
Yeah. She said I'm doing things. So he's trying to make it entertaining.
Okay, we can resume. Mr. Tara was regaling us with entertaining news of crosswalk. Please continue.
So I'll refresh it because it was a little bit noisy, so I just wanted everybody to hear what we're doing. As I said, under the financials, we'll probably expend some money this year. Low dollars, probably under $10,000, but we're looking at doing some curb cuts on Blue Raider Boulevard where the crosswalk is right now. Do a hard surface so when students come down the sidewalk, they can cut across at the side, at the crosswalk, in a shorter pathway to the building. So we're doing that, and then we're also, with the assistance of Public Works, we're going to be relocating some of the plants that are at the top of Raider Boulevard on the left-hand side as you're exiting. They're sticking out a little bit. It's creating a line of sight that's an issue. We met with SRO Roberts, Mr. Carrera. We looked at that and we're going to be taking those out. They're going to be replanting them somewhere else, either on this premise or somewhere else within town. So those are the things we're looking at right now. Mr. Roberts is doing some other things behind the scenes as far as additional safety. And we may even be looking at some signage as far as pointing out where the crosswalks are. We will be doing a crosswalk from this side of the street over to the, I'm going to say, west side of the street, whatever direction you're going, across the street so that there's a curb cut there, and we'll link that as well. So you create some nice line of sight where students should be crossing. So those are the plans we're trying to get done now. And it'll have a little bit of an impact on the budget, and we'll still be within budget and still be able to complete all the things we need to complete within the budget. Other than that, I think we're trending favorably in all those categories. There's some things that are over a little bit with the technology line. I think we talked about some of the things in the prior meetings, but just as a reminder, we made some investments in technology. We have a savings in certain categories on page 8 for technology that wasn't spent. That'll help offset those for that particular overage. What's trending a little bit over is really the long-term and short-term substitute line items. Yeah, but again, we're within budget in those categories. And one of the things that I've been trending and looking at is the school choice revenue. What was projected, what was approved is coming under a little bit, and we're just doing some research right now. I spoke with Amy, our treasurer, to make sure that everything that came in is posted, so we're looking at that as well. Any questions on
Thank you.
financials?
Does anyone have any questions? Thank you very much. That was very entertaining. Oh, more fun. The next item on the agenda is the continued discussion of the 2024-2025 budget. I don't know if you want to give us an update from last night's festivities.
Sure. Last night's Somerset Town Meeting, the Somerset's assessment, Somerset Berkley's Somerset assessment was approved. So now the next stage is waiting for Berkley's. And then really the other thing I just wanted to mention, and it's still obviously up in the air, but both the House and the Senate have proposed increasing the minimum student aid from $30, which is in the governor's proposal, to $104. So if that $74 increase does materialize, that would result in a little over $70,000 of additional Chapter 70 funding to the region, which then would positively impact both assessments. So we're waiting on that, and hopefully we find that out before too long. Is there anything else, Mr. Towers?
No, just I think you had a long night last night. Other than that, I think it worked out.
Mr. Fenstermaker, I know you were present last night. I'm not sure if there was, for the life of me, I can't remember the comments or questions that were made during the Somerset Berkley presentation.
I don't think there was much of anything. It was,
there really wasn't, right?
anything.
Yeah.
There were no comments.
Maybe
So
that's why I
afraid.
don't remember
It
anything.
was all during the Somerset.
That didn't have any.
Because it was a great.
No, it was very good because it went right. I think everything went through pretty smoothly.
So thanks to everyone who worked so hard to bring that together. And Ms. Solomon, remind me, the Berkley town meeting? June 3rd.
Yes.
So, after that,
Could I add one more thing
please do.
to this? At the town meeting here, at the end of the night, it was all school committee members. Essentially, the school had showing through it. A lot of other groups kind of did their thing and went on the road, but we stayed there. So
To the
I think
bitter end.
bitter end. I think it's a good thing to do.
Yes.
Good thing to do.
Yes.
You're showing that you're dedicated to it.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving along. The next item on the agenda is the recommendation and approval of additional OPEB, other post-employment benefits contributions. Mr. Tower, do you want to add anything?
I would. I think, given the financial status as presented tonight, if the school committee would be interested in considering making an additional transfer to the OPEB fund, which is the other post-employee benefit program, which funds on medical insurance for retirees. The effort is to really address the unfunded liability in that account, and the school committee has done a tremendous job with continuing to make those efforts to making contributions when possible. Based on the financial status, I think it would be appropriate to at least authorize administration to make a transfer not to exceed $250,000 to the OPEB fund. That gives me flexibility that plus or minus any additional expenses that we may occur before the end of the year, I can make sure I address those before I make the transfer to the OPEB fund.
What was the dollar amount again?
$250,000?
Not to exceed.
Not to exceed.
Yeah.
So the recommendation from Mr. Taro, and I'll take it in the form of a motion, would be to recommend that we make a contribution to the OPEB fund not to exceed $250,000.
Okay.
Motion by Ms. Ferrer and seconded by Mr. Fenstermaker. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you, Mr. Taro. You're not done yet. The next item on the agenda is the discussion on capital improvement funding.
So at one of the budget meetings, or it could have been public hearing, things are commingling a little bit, so I apologize for not remembering the time frame. But Mr. Machado, oh, I know what it was during the audit presentation. Mr. Machado had requested the auditor look at alternatives for putting some additional funds aside in a specific account. Mr. Roselli from the CPA firm of Roselli Clark and Associates did do some research, met with some colleagues, tried to find avenues where we could establish some type of a fund to put some money aside to start addressing the athletic turf and the track. He was unsuccessful in finding any creative methods. He suggested I reach out to the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, which I did. I just sent an email out requesting some guidance for establish such a fund. I have not heard back yet, but I will follow up. I usually give people a couple, 3-4 days to provide a response and think about that. So I will follow up, and they're usually pretty good about getting back to us. So I will make sure that I follow up on that.
Great, thank you.
It may be or may not be related to this, but it relates to the fields, and I think this may be a good time just to give you an update. I did receive a proposal to address the baseball field and the drainage issue. We had a firm that came out that's really experienced in this area. They are on the state contract, but I'm doing my due diligence to make sure, number one, does it require a sealed competitive bid process? I did reach out to our legal attorney, to just get advice to make sure I'm following the right procedure. As I know it, you can use vendors on the state contract without having to go out to bid. But because it's under a public works scope, and that's the title under Chapter 30B, I'm just asking for some guidance. If I have to turn a bid spec around, then I will. I just wanted to let you know that that is being moved forward as well.
Does anyone have any questions?
And just as a reminder, the funding source for that will be the bond proceeds that are sitting in that account that haven't been used yet, so we can try to wrap that up. So it's good because from a timing standpoint, if it's not done by June 30, which it won't be, we have access to those funds because it's not a deadline of June 30th.
What he's proposing, would that, I know we talked a little bit last meeting, that it would take 3 growth seasons? Are we looking at that?
I want to look at the scope, and I have to have a follow-up conversation with him, but I thought he said 2 seasons. Depends when he starts the project and gets it done, and when he can get growth out of it. So if he started it now, got it done, he'd have a growth season this year, and have a growth season the next year.
Really, in the fall would be the second growing season. If you can do something in the spring, the second season would be the fall.
Possibly.
And it could be ready in the spring.
Possibly, so.
Or is sod an option? Instead of
I did not have that conversation with him. I think that
just
would.
try to have the field available
I
sooner
know.
than later?
Yeah.
If it's not a huge cost difference?
And that's one of the things, I gotta look at what his proposal included. It was pretty detailed, probably like 7 or 8 pages. It's a lot of work that has to be done to really rectify this problem. But the good news is we have a particular vendor who's really qualified and able to do this type of job, because this is what they do. It's not somebody that would be just, I don't wanna say a landscape company, but this is somebody who actually knows how to do that in drainage. He did it within 5 minutes of him coming here. He grabbed his shovel, he did some digging, he looked at it, he says, "You have a sub-base here, was this a construction site?" So right away, he knew that we had a hard base underneath there. He said, "Looks like they just put soil on top of the hard base where the construction site was, so you have no drainage." So no matter what we do, unless we take that out, we can repurpose the soil that's there, he said, and then put a better base down, but it's a little bit.
Any other questions? All right, let's get an update in our June meeting. Okay, the next item on the agenda is to consider approval of the 2024-2025 contracts for year 3 of 3. And we have 4 contracts. So I would entertain, I think everybody has the information in front of them. So I'll move to entertain a motion to approve the boiler services contract with Arden Building Companies, Arden Engineering, for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. This would represent year 3 of a 3-year contract.
So moved.
We have a motion by Ms. Ferrera and seconded by Ms. O'Brien. Is there anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve the electrical repair services contract with Boston Electrical and Telephone, Betco, for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. This represents year 3 of a 3-year contract.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ferrera and seconded by Mr. Fenstermaker. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve the plumbing services contract with DDS Industries for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025. This represents year 3 of a 3-year contract.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ferrera and seconded by Ms. O'Brien. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Finally, I would entertain a motion to approve the snow removal services contract with J&H Landscaping for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. This represents year 3 of a 3-year contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ferrera and seconded by Mr. Fenstermaker. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you, everyone. I think the next item on the agenda we covered. There was discussion on the baseball field improvements, and I think we covered that.
I jumped the gun.
That's okay. It's all right. We're keeping it moving. Good work. All right, we'll get an update on that in June, unless you have something before that for us. Okay, the next item on the agenda under new business is a staffing update. Mr. Schoonover.
Sure, no resignations since our last meeting. We do have 3 appointments. One is a van driver and 2 within our food service department as presented on the agenda.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is the school committee meeting schedule for this fiscal year, which is July 2024 through June 2025. I think we've got a calendar here. And, sorry, just open it up. In conversation with the new chair of the Somerset K-8 school committee, we tried to organize meetings in such a way that they would not have such an impact on the evening responsibilities of our administrators. So we hope we accomplish that. So I don't know, does anyone have any questions about the proposed dates or any issues with any of the proposed dates? I would like to suggest that, as we have in the past, that we suspend the July meeting unless there was some urgent matter that came before us, but I think everyone should have a little bit of a summer. So does anyone have any objection to that?
Actually, I think we addressed that in our, a policy. I think we put it, so it was, May, the July.
With the option.
So there was an
Excellent.
option.
Great, so we will hold July only if needed for an urgent matter. Great. I don't think we need a vote to accept that, our meeting calendar, so everybody good with that? Okay, fabulous. Moving along. The next item on the agenda was the discussion on the replacement schedule for athletic uniform. I think Ms. O'Brien asked us to take a look at that at the last meeting. I don't know if we have any updates or additional information on that.
I actually just got access.
Yeah,
So
I
it just
apologize.
popped
I
in.
didn't realize you didn't have
No, no,
access in
it's
the
okay.
folder to that.
No worries.
Thank you, Mr. Machado. What did he step out? Okay.
So give folks a minute.
So, yeah, I apologize, I'm just opening it.
That's okay.
So I think looking at this, I think maybe just there was some miscommunication when I received the schedule last year, because it doesn't align with this closely. So it may have just been updated since then. but as long as this is what it is now, I have it. If I get questions, I'm better prepared to answer when the different spots are up for their replacement. And I would just ask, I know when I spoke to Mr. Francis, he said that they do ask the coach at the end of the year when the kids return them, they're not always in the best condition, right? We all have been there, we know that. If they would just take a second to look, and if it's really bad, pull it out of the rotation, right? The uniforms, a couple that I've seen come through, should not, we don't want to represent ourselves that way, in my opinion. So I appreciate you getting this for us.
White baseball pants, never a good situation.
They look nice when they're clean and brand new.
Yeah,
Not
for 5
too
minutes.
clean, or actually sat in the dugout or anything else for that matter.
Yeah. Great, okay. Thank you. Does anyone have any other questions or comments on that? Okay, great, thank you. The next item on the agenda are subcommittee assignments for the upcoming year. And I think in the, you have descriptions of the subcommittees in your folder. I think what we can do, I would suggest that members can review preferences, and if folks would like to, we could do another Google form prior to the next meeting where folks can indicate their preferences. I think one thing I would point out, and Mr. Fenstermaker, correct me if I am misremembering, I think this year we folded the maintenance, capital planning, and security into budget only because
They kind of go hand.
they go
Well, yeah,
hand
you
in
need-
hand,
you need the
right?
money to
You
do
need
the-
the
yeah,
money to
right.
do the things.
And plan.
And to
Yeah.
plan. So, and it just, I think, makes for fewer meetings, and these things will inevitably come up in a budget meeting anyway. Other than that, I didn't notice anything that was different.
So would you change the name of the budgeting committee to include that?
We could
Reference it to-
combine those.
Reference it, so-
Yeah, just, yeah, so folks know that we're also paying attention to those things. That would be a great idea. Okay, so we'll combine those into one. Maybe we just call it budget/capital planning, something like that. Okay, so if folks can take a look, and then Robin will share with us a Google form prior to the next meeting, and then we can organize that at the June meeting.
Madam Chair, if I may,
You may.
there's a community liaison on here. Do you have that full now?
I don't know that we do. Let's see.
It's got one from each community, one member from each community.
I don't know if, sort of informally when we do our updates, so,
Yeah.
so it's
Maybe it's
been
a shared responsibility.
Ms., yeah, Ms. Solomon, and I know that.
it was me.
Yeah, that's Ms.
For
Sol-
Berkeley anyway, 'cause,
Yeah, and Mr. Machado and Ms. Ferrer have kind of done that.
Okay.
You can sign up for it officially if you like.
No, it's just,
I mean,
I'm
the
just
Berkeley one, that's
trying to
okay.
be respectful of everyone's time, and if we don't need, if
Right.
this stuff is being duplicated in another group. then-
Absolutely. I think
Streamline
it's
a little bit.
essentially just the updates.
Yeah, okay.
Great. Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right.
Next item on the agenda is policy updates. We have several policies presented for a first reading. Are there any questions, or would anyone like to pull anything out for discussion? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve the first reading of the policies noted on this agenda, which will become a part of the permanent minutes.
So moved.
Second?
So a motion by Ms. Ashley and seconded by Mr. Fenstermaker. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Moving along, the next item on the agenda is Berkeley Public Schools update. Ms. Solomon.
Just Berkeley tonight, Somerset doesn't? Anyway, so just a couple things. We had our town elections on the 11th. 2 school committee members were re-elected, Tara Weber and Dan Fagan. So we did a reorg. I am continuing as the representative, obviously, on the region. Also to note from our elections, Jennifer Vincent, who previously served on this committee, was elected to the Board of Selectmen. So she will be serving as a new on our select board of. What else? We tabled our budget decision, our budget vote for our meeting right before town meeting. We need a little bit more time to work together on some things to bring it in line. We did unfortunately we cut 8 positions within both schools. But that still didn't bring us in line, so we're still working towards an agreement. Hopefully have that right before town meeting, so we'll vote on that. Then town meeting is on June 3rd. Tomorrow, regarding our MSBA building project, tomorrow our schematic design, which is 800-page document, has been submitted to the MSBA. It will be seen by their committee tomorrow and voted on by them. That gives us like our budget. They approve obviously the design of the building, but also our budget number. That kind of finalizes everything for us to be able to move forward and bring it before the town on November 5th election. That's all I got.
Thank you. Somerset's not on here.
Having a quorum.
Just says
Mr. Machado has left, so I don't know.
Technically, we no longer have a quorum.
We can skip it.
Yeah,
Just
it's
so we don't.
not on the agenda,
It's
so.
Yep.
not there, so.
Okay. All right, topics not anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance. I have done. Action items for future meetings.
Maybe an update on baseball.
Yeah, the only thing that would be for the baseball field is if I get an affirmative that we can move forward, I would present that to the school committee for your final approval to move forward with the contract for that. If not, then I'll go out to bid and I'll keep you up to date, but we'll probably keep it as a possible action item.
Okay, great.
I had one thought. As we were looking at the student population numbers, and we had a lot of time last night to look through the paperwork there for but do we do any kind of, or can we do any kind of recruiting students to come here? They have so many choices now, right, with all these new schools being built, and it's just, how do we draw them back, or, whether we do, I know that earlier on, and it may be still true, that we had folks that were kind of coordinating the students, meeting with the students in Berkley the year before they're going to come here. And that kind of could get them in that thought, because the number, we need the numbers. and we need to figure out a way that we've got a great facility, great instructors, do a lot of great job, but if nobody knows it outside of these walls, then it's kind of difficult. So I don't know where that falls in, but I just got to thinking about that as I was going through the paperwork last night. It might be something to talk a little bit about.
Yes, there are shiny new buildings on the horizon that certainly, are attractive. Not just the buildings, obviously, but that are attractive to some folks. I know that, so maybe that's something that the student advisory, council committee
Yes.
could sort of, maybe they could, I know, just maybe brainstorm some ideas about, what are the best things about SB for them, and then, like you said, the messaging maybe needs to be sooner or more often, right? Because you're right, we're sort of competing for students, and we know that we have all the best things, so.
And I know it's obviously not an item on the agenda, but and I've mentioned it now at a couple of meetings, so yes, we'll definitely tackle that. We'll figure out a way that we can better market ourselves. But as you noted, we have vocational and agricultural schools that are expanding at the same time where not just our population is decreasing, our student population is decreasing here in both Somerset and Berkley, but then there have been so many stories recently just on Massachusetts population in general and how people are fleeing to other parts of the country because it's so expensive to live here. So we've got, you know, increasing competition and a decreasing population. So it is an issue that we talk about frequently, and Dr. Brelsford and I have this conversation quite a bit as well. So yes, we will absolutely bring it up on a future agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fenstermaker. Does anyone have anything else? Okay. And then next on the agenda, under consent agenda would be, excuse me, to consider approval of the following minutes. Actually, hold on. I would entertain a motion to approve the open session minutes of April 23rd, 2024 as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ashley, seconded by Ms. O'Brien. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. We're going to defer the executive session minutes until after executive session. Next item on the agenda is public input. Is there any public input? Okay. In that case, I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares. American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, paraprofessional, custodian, and cafeteria units, Somerset Teachers Association, STA, and the Cafeteria Memorandum of Agreement, and pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general or special law or federal grant and aid requirements, to consider the release, redaction, or withholding of the April 23rd, 2024 executive session minutes. And the committee will return to open session. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Fenstermaker and seconded by Ms. Ferrer. We'll do a roll call of members present. Mr. Fenstermaker.
Present.
Ms. Ashley.
Aye.
Ms. Ferrera.
Aye.
Ms. O'Brien.
Aye.
Ms. Solomon.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And just to reiterate, we will return to open session. So we're returned to open session. So I would entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, cafeteria workers for the period of August 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2027.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ferrera, seconded by Ms. O'Brien. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Next, I would entertain a motion to accept the April 23rd, 2024 executive session minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ashley, seconded by Mr. Fenstermaker. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Finally, I would entertain a motion to release the April 23rd, 2024 executive session minutes with redactions.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ferrera, seconded by Ms. O'Brien. Anything on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. And lastly, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ferrera, seconded by Ms. O'Brien. Anything on discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so voted. Oh, opposed, none. So voted. Go Celtics. Thank you, everyone.